Hey there, my name's Maddie. I'm from ATAR Wizard, and today we're going to be going over Unit 4, Area of Study 2, Defining Mental Wellbeing, dot point number 1. Now, this dot point reads, ways of considering mental wellbeing, including levels of functioning, resilience as the ability to cope with and manage change and uncertainty, and social and emotional wellbeing, or the SEWB, as a multidimensional and holistic framework for wellbeing that encapsulates all elements of being body, mind and emotions, family and kinship, community, culture, country, spirituality and ancestors for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders people. So, in knowing that, we're going to be going over these in reference to these super cool notes that you can purchase via the link in the bio. They're the Complete Psychology Units 3 and 4 note package. Additionally, I am a past VCE Psychology student, and I'm now studying VCE. Well, not VCE. I'd studied VCE. Now I'm doing psychology at university. So I offer one-on-one tutoring sessions, which you can book again via the link in the description below. So, defining mental wellbeing. Mental wellbeing is a state in which a person realizes their abilities and feels good about their life and can cope with the normal stresses of life, work productively, and contribute to the world around them. So that's a really good definition to remember, but in terms of your understanding, you can just think of mental well-being as a state in which people are feeling good about their lives. It's all happening. It's all happy. It's all good, you know? It's just a state in which you're all good. If something big happens, if a significant life event occurs, you might have an adverse reaction to that. But in general, you're coping with daily stresses, being like bad traffic, you know, they're out of your favorite ice cream at the supermarket, that kind of thing. You can deal with all of that. So it's going to look like someone coping with the changes in their everyday life. They're taking part in the community and they are having high emotional resilience. So we look at that. And now functioning. So the definition of functioning, or what functioning means, is how well a person's able to perform or behave in their environment. So how well you're interacting with the world around you, and how much of, I guess, an effective member of society you're being. So high functioning might look like having abundant relationships, doing well at school or work, and performing daily tasks. Well-being, sorry, there are a lot of definitions in this little bit, but well-being refers to how positively we interpret our lives and ourselves. So social well-being is how positively we interpret relationships and interactions which we have with other people, which might look like having respectful interactions with people in the surrounding environment and having adequate teamwork skills. So social well-being is well-being in a social setting. So you're able to talk and interact with other people really well and work with other people. The baseline for all of these kinds of well-being is different for everyone. So having really good social well-being for some people might look like being involved in a lot of sporting events, whereas for other people, it might just be having a really strong and secure relationships with their family or with their friend group. It's subjective and it's different for different people. So then emotional well-being is the degree to which a person can explain and control their emotions in an appropriate and healthy manner. So if something upsetting happens, it's being able to talk about that and overcome those potentially really negative emotions in a way that's healthy and isn't going to obstruct or bring you down in your normal day-to-day life too much. Resilience, how well someone's able to bounce back, recover, and move past adversity in their life, or cope when something goes their way. So if you're resilient when something negative happens, like again, they don't have your favorite ice cream at the supermarket, you're going to be able to get past that really quickly. It's not going to take you a really long time, and you're going to be able to deal with that. So again, this high resilience might look like belief in the abilities. So you know you can do this. You know, if it's the ice cream example, you can drive somewhere else and get the ice cream from one supermarket rather than the other. If they're out, are you going to be optimistic? And you're going to have realistic plans. So when we look at the social and emotional well-being, or the SEWB framework, now this is defined as multidimensional, which means it's made up of lots of different parts. So it's got all these different parts, and it's holistic, which means it considers a person as more than just their physical body. So if I looked at well-being in terms of just your physical body, that would just be looking at purely how physically healthy someone is. Now, this is not necessarily a great way of looking at well-being, because how you're doing physically as in your physical body is just as important as the kinds of connections that you have around you and how you're feeling emotionally. These bits all intertwine, and the social and emotional well-being framework looks at this. So it includes all elements of well-being for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. This consists of the connection to body, mind and emotions, family and kinship, community, culture, country, and spirituality and ancestors. People ask me, they say, Maddie, do I have to remember all of those things? There are so many of them. That's such a lot. And I say to that, yes, you do have to remember all of it. So that's it. You do have to remember it. I'm sorry. So the explanation of each of these is, so the connection to mind and emotions is a person's personal experience and their ability to interpret and cope with their emotions and thoughts. Their connection to body is their relationship with their physical being. So it's not just being physically not sick, it's actually how you feel about your body and about yourself. The connection to family and kinship is the recognition of someone's family and the kinship they share as being essential to the maintenance of their well-being. Connection to community is understanding of the connection someone has to a communal space being important. So connection there's a connection to the space around you. Connection to culture is understanding the values and systems of identification someone shares as being essential to their well-being. So the culture someone has being essential to their well-being. Again, this is with the holistic look. You look at these, if one of these things such as like connection to community or connection to culture or any of them isn't in place, that's going to like drastically impact the well-being as a whole. Then we have connection to country, which is the connection to the area or land which a person resides, and the deep sense of belonging which this provokes. So when we look to the connection to country, and this is country with a capital C, we're not just looking at like the connection to a grassy field or anything, or as a base value. We're looking at what that means, and we're understanding that there is a deep sense of belonging associated with this land. Then we're looking at the connection to spirituality and ancestors, which is the essential understanding of the connection between country, past, present, in the past, in the present, and in the future, as well as the living and non-living things in this country. So that is the end of this episode on Unit 4, Area of Study 2.1. I hope that this has been helpful. Again, you can grab these notes via the link in the bio, and you can book one-on-one tutoring as well via the link in the bio. So in the next episode, we'll be talking about mental wellbeing as a continuum, with an individual's mental wellbeing being influenced by internal and external factors and stress, anxiety, and phobia. So I look forward to seeing you there, and happy studying. Bye.